It has been 5 months since my grandpa died. 5 months without him, 5 months not being able to talk to him, 5 months without him here. And tomorrow, or today, I turn 21. To be honest, I have wanted to make this video for a long time. I just don't know where to start. It's weird losing someone because some people see it coming and some people never do. And in my case, it happened one night at 3 a.m. He was here, and the next day, he was gone. And this is not a video of me saying I wish I got to spend more time with him. Out of all of the grandkids, I probably spent the most time with my grandpa. I live in his house. And I'm eternally grateful for that. Because of that, I got to make so many memories, and yet somehow, in some way, I feel like I never got to spend as much time with him as he so rightfully deserved. And maybe that's me still in the grieving process talking, or maybe it's me wishing. I don't know. Since then, a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of good stuff in my life has happened. But I don't want to focus on that because that isn't what this video is about. This is a video about my grandpa and the grieving process that comes with that. I think the first thing that they don't tell you about the grieving process is that it never is really over. For some reason, my naive brain thought the grieving process is when you lose someone and then you spend a month or a week grieving. It's the 5 stages of grief. But what they don't tell you is that those 5 stages of grief come at you in many different ways and just happen unexpectedly. I was at work, for example, and I was having a pretty overwhelming day, and all of a sudden I go to the bathroom and I cry. Not because of the hard day, but because I just miss my grandpa. Everything I do reminds me of my grandpa, and yet somehow this is the new normal. Because I remember a time when the normal was my grandpa being with me, but now he's gone, and the new normal is just remembering him as a face in the shadows. It's a face of someone I used to talk to. It's hard to watch videos with him in them, or videos that I made with when he was upstairs, because I don't know. Recently, I was at work, and a video of him singing to my dog, my, I guess, ex-dog, I don't know, just a dog, just my dog is just no longer alive, came up. It was him singing to her while I was at work on my break, and it made me it made me so happy, but also that kind of happy you get from watching old family videos, or while watching a sad movie that has a good ending. That kind of happy. A happy that you look back on and you go, I wish that was me. I wish I was still here. Sorry if I keep looking that way. I have a picture of my grandpa up at my graduation, and I'm looking at that. It hits you in waves. it the 5 stages of grief is, I think, total bullshit, because it it expects to hit you all at once or all in different waves. But I've been going to anger, to sadness, to acceptance, to anger, to sadness, to grieving, to acceptance, to sadness, all over again. The 5 stages of grief is not a linear timeline, and for that matter, people take grief differently than other people. The way that I grieve isn't the way that you grieve, isn't the way that my brother grieves, isn't the way whatever. Because after my grandpa died, I was actively trying to cope by making jokes. Not disrespectful jokes, mind you, just jokes that made me satisfied. I didn't really cry. I only really cried at his funeral because of a song that my mom sang. But then there are these moments that I sit here and I wake up in an empty house and I walk into where his office was, and there's no one there. And I don't want to come across, I don't want to sound pretentious or assholeness, but that's true. Since my grandpa's death, my grandma has been put into a nursing home. She's doing well, by the way. I visited her recently. And it's very unlikely that she comes back to the house. And again, I don't want to make this about me, but it's an experience when what used to be a loud area upstairs filled with laughter and singing is now empty with just me and my dog. Tomorrow, or today, I guess, I'm having a party. And it's going to be weird to not shush everyone because I'm afraid that my grandma or grandpa might hear me. I turn 21 tomorrow and there's 2 people missing. But there's one person that isn't coming back. There's guilt to an extent because I never got to say any final words to my grandpa. Some of my last words I remember saying to him are, "I have a bigger office than you," a joke that we shared. And that is satisfying for us because we had that kind of relationship. But I wish I could tell him everything that's going on in my life now. But who I am as a person now. I've changed as a person since he's been gone. And again, I'm not trying to make this about me. That's not the point of the video. But my last video was talking about my grandpa and all the experiences I had with him, and I want to leave that video in the past. Because that video was shot the day after his death. And is more of a raw reflection than this. This is more talking about the grieving process and what comes next. It has been 5 months since my grandpa has died. There is this BoJack Horseman quote that I'm reminded of, as cheesy as it is. He's talking about his mom who recently passed. They never got along. But the quote, "My mom is dead and everything is worse now." And I don't think that's true. Because life carries on. Although that's a different circumstance and the show, whatever. I don't know why I brought the quote up, but I did, and I'm keeping it in the video because I'm not going to edit something out. It's just something I think. I don't really know what to say next. It's just the fact that I miss him. I do. That's that's really it. That's all. There's not much more I can say besides I miss him and I want to talk to him. If you know, they say if you could talk to any person living or dead, I'd pick my grandpa now. It's funny because I was a kid, I'd be like, I want to talk to fucking, I know, Amelia Earhart. Not that I like Amelia Earhart like that, but like, you know, it's different now because when they say talk to anyone living or dead, you just think of the famous celebrities. Now I'm like, no, fuck that shit. I want to talk to my grandpa. I want to make fun of him again for no reason. As a joke, obviously, I didn't make fun of him when he was alive or whatever. I mean, I did. You know, it's not important. I don't know why I sat down to record this video. I just saw TikTok and I'm like, hey, I should make the video about that. And so here it is. 5 months after uploading on this channel, me talking about my grandpa again because that's feels appropriate. I've been trying to make a video again. I've been streaming a lot. I've been recording my podcast a lot, but I haven't uploaded on this channel for 5 months. I've been trying to make a video again. I've been trying to get back into the swing of things, but every time I try, the motivation just kind of burns itself out, and I just kind of sit in my phone instead. And I want to make a video again because I miss it. But I don't know, man. This channel's just, it's a relic. So I don't know if I'm going to follow through with it. I'm still very hesitant. But I think this video, the one you're watching right now, is going to be the last video on this channel. I'll still be making videos. I'm still going to record the podcast. But this video is going to be the last video on this channel. I'll be making videos on a new channel. Don't know what that channel is going to be yet. But I think I've decided that this video is going to be the last video on my channel. I'll see you guys in the channel soon. And Grandpa, I miss you, dude. Take it easy.